What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. Coming at you live. How are you guys? I have a really, really special guest. If you can't see this man right now, let me tell you, leaving out of corporate America and going to entrepreneurship, one of the number one skills that I realized that I didn't have before I took the leap was sales. Now that I'm an entrepreneur, the one thing that I know keeps me going is knowing how to sell and add value to someone. So I could go on and on about how I've learned sales from my perspective, but that's why I brought an expert, because you don't want that from me. You don't want the sauce from me. So without further ado, I would love my guest to introduce himself so we can get into this conversation.
Absolutely. First off, thank you, Sister Ariel, for hosting me on your platforms. I'm super excited to actually be doing a workshop partnered with you. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you what you asked me to do. But I'm going to say this first, that our lives are not scrimmages or practice games. There is no Martyrs Hall of Fame. Time, the speedster, takes its toll. And for us as entrepreneurs, every day really is the Super Bowl. My name is Brian K. McNeil, and I am the sales confidence coach. And what I do is I teach entrepreneurs what to say and do so they can sell themselves and their services better than they ever have before, so they earn more money than ever before. That's what I do. That's what my ministry is. That's what my life is about. I've been doing this for a long time. And you reminded me of something, Ariel, in your introduction. I was doing these workshops called How to Package, Present, and Sell Yourself to the World for since 2010 in colleges and middle schools.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, at universities, teaching them how to, before they get out of school, how to present yourself to the world, how to sell yourself to the world. Because I thought
Fact.
it was important. Yes, I was doing that in middle schools and college. Middle schools, high schools, and colleges back in 2010. I didn't even remember doing that long ago. Yep.
And that's literally like how the first time I understood like the power of sales. So really and truly, like, interview skills, because I started off as a career coach, selling yourself in an interview, selling yourself to your boss, selling your skills and how you can navigate in corporate. That was the lens that I was thinking of corporate. These have always been really like success skills, honestly, right?
It is.
And
It's the critical skill. I will tell you, it's so funny, and I'm so happy that you're embracing the word sell. Like if I have a room full of people, and if there's 100 people in the room, how many people here like to sell? Raise your hand. I'll get a few. How many people here dislike selling? Raise your hand. I
Mhm.
say, are there any single ladies in the room? Say yes. I'm gonna introduce you to this man, and he's a salesman type. What kind of image comes to your mind? And most of the time, it's a negative image, Ariel. But I will tell you that that negative image salesperson is from a time long ago. That's not from today. Today's the salesperson has to be the most honest person in the room, because you can't get away with not being very honest. So I do think the two most important skills for the success of your life are the ability to communicate, to ability to articulate a thought or explain a concept in a way that somebody else understands, has a
Mhm.
lot to do with your happiness or sadness, success or failure, prosperity or poverty. But the second skill is not even one and two, it's one and one. Okay, the second skill that's most important in your life is the ability to sell, to get money in exchange for. That's what the selling part is.
Yes, my mentor says your money is out there. You got it. It's just in someone else's pocket.
That's right.
And you have to be able to help them take that money out of their pocket and do it. But that's where the confidence comes in. So
Yes.
those of you guys who, like Brian said, we're actually doing a workshop this weekend so that Brian can go through the secrets that he's learned about being confident while selling your services. This is so important because once you know the skill set, yes, intellectually you can understand that sales is not this grimy thing that we are used to hearing about when it comes to like car salesmen. But what I like about what Brian does specifically is that confidence, the confidence to kind of get over the first hump of your first like 10, 20 no's, right? That's my experience of sales. So Brian, so since we're doing this workshop, we're doing this conversation so that people can understand what are some of those secrets that you're going to be able to share with us this weekend. So how about we start off with why you decided to focus in on the confidence piece?
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you very much. You gave me a lot of meat on the bone to chew on. But I will tell you, just get the confidence piece is because most entrepreneurs today, for fear of not being liked, for fear of compromising a potential friendship, or for fear of being looked at a different way, they won't even ask for the business at all. They're afraid to ask for the business because they can't handle the rejection. You just mentioned learning how to get past the first 10, 20 no's. My sister, I'm going to tell you, it's even worse than that, because most entrepreneurs say they don't even get 10 to 20 no's because they never even ask for business. Most entrepreneurs never even ask for it. What they
Why
will
do you think
do,
that is?
because they're afraid of being told no or being looked at in a certain way. So what they'll do, instead of asking for business, they'll do great presentations and then hope. Okay, they'll do great branding or great marketing or great branding and then hope that somebody says, your stuff is so good, raise their hand, can I buy from you or can I hire you? And that's what's called low probability selling. You're hoping the clients will close themselves. You're hoping they'll be so impressed that they'll ask to do business with you. And very few people are going to do that. So most entrepreneurs, they won't even ask for business.
Yeah.
Okay?
You mentioned the close themselves. I think that specifically for those of us who are used to being in corporate spaces and just doing those presentations all day long, we're good at creating those presentations. We're good at like having a clear way to talk about something.
Yep.
But I feel like the biggest issue for a lot of folks in my community is connecting emotionally, right? So like instead of just telling a presentation, one of the reasons I feel like we have to get out of that mode of telling presentations is because we have to connect. How do we connect with a client so that we don't just kind of rely on them closing themselves, but we engage with them the entire conversation?
It's an understanding. People are going to hire you or buy from you for either emotional reasons or for logical reasons. Now, emotional reasons are the way they imagine they're going to feel if they're working with you or hire you. Logical reasons because it's smart, it makes sense, and it's a good deal. Emotion has to do with the heart. Logic has to do with the brain. Now, people move 9 times faster for the heart or for what they want than they will for what they need. Okay, so understand this to be true, you have to learn how to sell with emotion and learn how to use your primary tool, which are the words you choose. Learn how to use emotional words often and comfortably. I'm going to give you a couple of them that you can learn how to use often and comfortably. And just talking. The most emotional word in the English language starts with an L. Guess what it is?
Love.
Love. Love, love, love. Most adults have taught themselves how to become uncomfortable saying it. They taught themselves to become uncomfortable saying it. I want you, my entrepreneur friends, to become comfortable using the word love and offering your services. And don't use it where you're the star, like, I love helping people. No, you're going to love, or my clients love, or people say they love this part of it. That's just one way, using your primary tool to get more of an emotional connection. Okay. Of course, you want to understand and listen to them. I'm going to give you one more word. This is a secret. This is one of the secrets. The one word that most adults wish they heard more often, and they don't hear it nearly enough.
What's that?
They wish they heard this. Matter of fact, they love the person that will just say this word to them. It's almost like you're complimenting them by just saying this word, and they wish they heard it more. The word that most adults wish they heard is the sound of their own first names. Right, Ariel? Ariel, excuse me.
Ariel, yeah, right. I do love it.
I'm gonna keep getting it. I'm gonna practice it. But most adults wish they heard their own names more often. And the coolest thing about saying a person's name is, this is one of the things you can't overdo. You can do it again and again and again. And every time you say their name, you come across as warmer. You come across as more friendly, and they like you more, right, Ariel?
Yes.
Yes.
So right.
Say my name, right? Come on, you want to hear it. I'm not gonna go there, but
no, you are totally right. And I think these are things that we can use in our everyday life in addition to like selling on a sales call. So to take the edge off, one of the things that I would encourage from a coach perspective is for you guys to just try it now. Start using people's names when you're talking to them.
Get permission most of the time, though, especially if they're older. My name is Brian McNeil. What would you like me to call you? Call me Ariel. You can call me Brian. Okay, what do you want me to call you? Now, if he says call me Mr. Williams, that's what you call him. Okay, but they say call me by my name, that's what you call them, and use it often and comfortably. Every time you say their name, you get closer.
Yes, yes, yes. One of the things that I would love for you to touch on is the beginning of someone's sales journey. So you
Mhm.
mentioned that, if someone is, lack of confidence, being able to go out there and talk about like, oh, what my other clients are good at, and like the experience that I've had. But let's say someone is feeling like they're not as confident in like their selling ability or even delivering their service. What's your take on helping someone who's a brand new salesperson?
If someone's a brand new salesperson or a brand new entrepreneur, let's
Mm-hmm.
say it's some person that I love and I want to ensure that they're successful. Okay. I love them. I want to make sure you're successful. What would I tell you to do first, second, and third? Okay. Here's what I would have you. First, I would make sure that they're readers. Okay. You have to be willing to read. And
Mm.
there's a few books I want them to read up front. And every single page of these books gives them more confidence. The first book I want them to read is called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. It's a little thin little book. You can read it in a day, but it does a lot to get your mind right to be great. Okay.
Og Mandino.
Og is his first name, last name is Mandino, and the
Mm-hmm.
book is called The Greatest Salesman in the World.
Got it.
Og Mandino. Okay. Get that book to get your mind right. And then I would recommend they get them the book, especially if they're starting out today in 2022, then I recommend they get this book called The Shortcut. The
Okay.
Shortcut.
Okay. By Brian McNeil.
The
Brian K.
Shortcut.
McNeil.
Yep. The fastest route to selling your services
Mm-hmm.
better than you ever had before so you can earn more money by Brian K. McNeil. Brian K. McNeil is a great guy. You'll like him.
Yeah,
He
I've heard
knows what
about
he's
that
talking
guy.
about. Yeah. But this book is only 74 pages. A lot of cake, very little frosting. Just do what it says do, and you'll get more clients too. It just teaches you what to do, not even the so sexy side of sales, just the nuts and bolts. Do this on a Monday, do this on a Tuesday, do this on a Wednesday. Do these things, and you'll get more confidence. And then after Og's book and The Shortcut, I can recommend they get this book called Asking for the Money. How
Mm-hmm.
anyone can close more sales, even you.
Okay.
Asking for the money. And this is also written by Brian K. McNeil. Now, this book is 94 pages, but this book teaches you what to do before you ask for the money. What do you do when you ask for the money? What do you do if there's a little bit of resistance? What do you do if there's a lot of resistance? How do you overcome objections? This book is all about closing the sale and overcoming the objection, and it's a great read, too. The reviews of both of these books are amazing. They're both Amazon bestsellers. I recommend you get them through me or come to the workshop in Atlanta. If you have access to it, come to the workshop in Atlanta
Yes.
on this upcoming Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Holiday Inn North Airport.
Let's
There's a
go.
link, huh? And
I
there's a
said,
link
let's
somewhere
go.
that we want to put in the comments. I have the link somewhere.
Yes. I can also put it in here as well. So here you
Please,
go.
yeah, please put in the comments because you must register. There it is. You must register to attend. Now, this is free to the public. If you drive, you'll have to pay for parking. It's $5 to pay for the parking. Yes, $5. And but other than that, all it takes is your time and energy to get there. It takes some courage to get there. The three most important skills: communication, selling, and the most important one is word is courage. It takes some courage to leave corporate to go be great. Okay,
Yeah, it sure
but
does.
that has a lot to do with your happiness or sadness.
Yeah. So talking about this weekend, give us a little bit of a glimpse of what we have to expect when we show up at the workshop this weekend.
Well, you're gonna have a lot of enthusiasm and showmanship, and a lot of content too. Everyone that leaves this workshop on Saturday are gonna leave feeling excited about what they do. They're gonna see their money. They're gonna know what to do right now. They're gonna have a roadmap of what to do. If they're working a job and they desire to be full-time self-employed, they'll feel more confident that they'll be able to because they will know how to make money.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm gonna teach them some sexy stuff, the secret stuff that you can't find nowhere else. It's in nobody's curriculum. Like what I just said about names, that's not anybody's curriculum, but it's one of the little things that adds to. So there'll be some role playing involved. I guarantee everyone that shows up is going to laugh a lot. They're going to learn a lot, and they're going to leave that room flying. They're going to
Let's
leave the room
go.
flying.
Okay, so you mentioned this earlier. You said objections. And I think that's probably the biggest thing. Even if you have a really good conversation with someone and you feel like, okay, we're about to do business together. They want to work with me so bad. I'm getting ready to go to my Stripe account and we're going to close if everything's going well. But for some reason, those objections that getting over the hump is a challenge. One of the objections that someone might be thinking is, I'm not a good salesperson. I'm not cut out for it. They might have told themselves, I'm not good at being a salesperson. What would you tell someone so that they give themselves a second chance? So
You
they
mean
can
right after they just did that great sales presentation on me about why they're not salespeople? Okay, is that what
right. They just try to sell you on why they're not a good salesperson, right?
Okay.
Why is it? What are they going to get out of this workshop that's literally going to change their perspective and get them to success?
Well, they'll think there are a few things. First off, we're all born great salespeople. Who's a better salesperson than a toddler who wants a cookie? Okay. she knows that my daughter at 3 years old was amazing. Okay. Daddy, can I have a cookie? No, Brianna, you can't have a cookie. Well, Daddy, can I have it later? Okay. So she gave me an option. If I don't do business now with her, we do it later, because she knew later was going to come. And she was, remember you said I can have it later, Daddy? And then she would achieve her objective. Amazing. Okay. You have to learn to not like selling. But first off, I'm a believer. Okay. First, second, and third. The word sell is originally a Greek compound word coming from two words, sell and ye, and it literally means to help. So start thinking of your work instead of selling, but helping. And in fact, even saying the word help instead of sell. I sold the Jones, I sold the Thompsons, I sell more than anybody. Or I helped the Jones, I helped the Thompsons, I helped more people than anybody. There's a scripture, Proverbs 11:26, that says that people curse the ones that withhold the grain. Blessings upon the ones that will sell it. Now, your grain is your intellectual property. Your grain is your answers to things. And if you won't sell it in exchange for something of value, money, curses upon you. That's what the Bible says. But if you will sell it, if they want what you have and you won't sell it to them, curses. But if you will sell it in exchange for something of value, blessings are going to be upon you. And there's one more thing too. Are you going to sell your stuff to people or for people? See, if you're selling it to them, you're just trying to make money. If you're selling it for them, because you know their lives will be improved in some way.
Yes.
Now, if you're sure, if they hire you or buy from you, their lives will be better in some way. If you're sure that's the truth, then you owe it to people to sell it to them. There's a concept called the sin of the desert. The sin of the desert. Now, the sin of the desert is when you know where the water is, but you won't tell anybody else. You know where the solutions are, but you keeping it to yourself. Okay. The sin of the desert is the height of selfishness. Now, if you know you can help somebody and you won't sell it to them, you're committing the sin of the desert. You're committing the crime.
That's it right there. I think that's the unlocking piece. I think for someone who's currently thinking the worst thing about selling, to realize that you're being selfish. You're doing yourself and those who are around you who you want to help a disservice by not opening your mouth and not developing the confidence to go after the sale.
Because they get to keep the problem and you get to have less money.
Now, that's one thing. If you've already told them what the offer is, you've already told them what the value is and the transformation that you offer, and they decide they want to keep their problem. But if you decide for them, then you're literally doing yourself and them a disservice.
And they don't have to say yes to you, but you do have to offer it. Okay, that's your job.
It's our responsibility.
Okay? Yes, your responsibility. You owe it to the world. If you could be helpful, you owe it to them. And it doesn't even matter your excuse why I'm kind of tired. They may not want to listen to me. I don't really know, blah, 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 whatever. You're committing the crime, not them.
Seriously, guys, I'm telling you, the reason I was excited to have this conversation, and now that we're literally talking about this, those of you guys who are here, whether you're listening on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, when I was getting ready to leave corporate America, I literally was looking for all the opportunities I could get to sell something, because I was like, I've lived like almost 10 years in corporate America and I've never literally had to sell someone on something. I didn't realize that I'd been interviewing all my life. I'd been selling people on ideas all my life, but I never equated the two.
Every job you got was a sales presentation. Every promotion you got was a sales presentation. Ladies, have you ever gotten your man to do something that he initially didn't want to do?
Bingo. Bingo. We literally do it all the time. I didn't have an opportunity like this. So I want you guys to take advantage of this opportunity. Brian is teaching a workshop at 10 o'clock this weekend on Saturday. And the link is in the chat for you guys to join us. All you have to do is register. It's totally free, and you can literally get the mindset shift that I got as an entrepreneur even before you start your journey. So if you know you want to be a successful entrepreneur, if you know you just like, hey, I got to get the jitters out and I need someone who's already done it to help me do it, then Brian may be the person who can help you do it and get through that threshold of fear and over to into confidence and selling. Brian, before we get out of here, I would love for you to help us understand if we didn't cover what people needed to know to get out here, what is something that someone really, really needs to know in order for them to change from a non-salesperson in order to be a salesperson?
Yeah, there's so much bad counsel out there. Okay. Especially, I want to talk to those persons who want to leave corporate America or leave part of corporate America, or at least start earning their own money. You're going to hear some bad counsel, and it's going to come across disguised as good counsel. Make sure you have 6 months of savings first before you make the leap, or make sure you have your business plan, or make sure you have this or that. You don't need any of that stuff. What you do need is one paying client before you make the move. Get one client that will pay you for what you're offering. You need proof of concept. So getting a paying client, you get one paying client, you can get another. That's the most important thing. You make mistakes when you try to, well, I'm going to get my branding right. I'm going to get my website right. I'm going to get my da-da-da. You're going to spend all this money. Before, all that stuff will come along the way. Before you get your website, before you get your branding, before you build your funnel, get you one paying client.
Yes.
And that's what I'm going to pour into you.
Man, that right there was a whole gem, because we waste our time on these other things. And I know I said we were getting ready to close out, but I will say this. I'm still going to close out, because the secrets, you got to join us on Saturday to get them. I'm sorry, but one of the things that you mentioned, Brian, was this is what you need to do on Monday. This is what you need to do on Tuesday. This is what you need to do on Wednesday. One of the concepts that I coach about is revenue generating activities. Yeah. And so while you are on your journey and you want to leave your job and you're feeling like you're burning the midnight oil because you're building your website and you got these business cards, you're not doing the one thing that it takes for you to bring in income. And so you're going to tell us this weekend what we can do every single day to be successful in entrepreneur, and not just in entrepreneurship, but in sales specifically.
Yeah. See, that's the challenge, especially with smart people. That's the challenge. They're smart. They know they're smart. There's a lot of things you can do in your business that do not earn you money. If I push against this wall over here all day long, even if I get tired, if the wall doesn't move, no work got done. Okay. There's only a few things that are income earning activity: prospecting, presenting, closing, following up, delivering, and studying. That's it. Okay. Everything else is preparing you to earn money, but not actually money earning activities. And to the degree you learn how to do more money earning activities, because time is the thing that when you don't have money, you have time. You got to use your time. And then once you get your money, then you have less time. Okay. So learning how to balance that. And I think I can teach you that better than anybody. So
do what you got to do. Those of you guys who are here on Instagram, I'm going to be dropping this, the link to register in the chat. So don't worry, I got you. Those of you guys who are watching this on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, you already have the link. So go ahead, and whether you're watching this live or on the replay, click the link in the chat. Register for the event this Saturday, and I will see you there live in Atlanta.
Live, y'all.
What's up? Thank you so much, Brian, for doing this quick rundown of what we have to learn this weekend. I'm excited for it this weekend.
I'm excited too, and I'm so happy that you're going to be involved. Thank you, my sister.
Absolutely. Yes, register. Let's do it. All right, guys. I'll see you guys there. Peace.